Hello, 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 and welcome to the Downsized Live. My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And this is our weekly live stream. Somebody's already asking about JoJo. JoJo's outside playing. Maybe she'll come in. I'll have to go open the door. Who knows? You just
JoJo is our cat. So if this is your first time joining us live, welcome. We've lost together over 150 pounds on GLP-1 medications. I've lost over 50 pounds on compounded, yes, I said compounded, tirzepatide through Mochi Health. I've pinned my Mochi Health link in the comments there. If you're one who needs to find a new provider today, you can still use Mochi Health. So welcome. I've lost over 50 pounds. Christopher's lost over 100 pounds. And we started this channel about 2 years ago because we had such great success with these medications that we wanted to tell everybody about them. So now we tell everybody, and we don't care who knows. And I'll tell people in the elevator, and I'll tell people at the gym, and I'll tell people standing in line at Target.
She'll tell people at the bathroom. She doesn't care. She tells everybody.
I am a GLP-1 ambassador extraordinaire. So, but we're not doctors. I have a little sign. We're not doctors. We're patients. So this is not medical advice. If you want to get started with a GLP-1 medication, start with your doctor. Okay. Like and subscribe to the Downsized. We make videos every single day about GLP-1 topics. Every single day. We do interviews with other people on this journey. We do our news once a week on Mondays. We tell you about our personal journey once a week on Fridays. We also interview doctors. We do cooking shows. We go on the road and do things from different locations. So we've got a lot coming up this summer. So we hope that you will follow along with us and make us part of your journey, make us part of your GLP-1 quest for knowledge as we keep learning things and keep growing in our GLP-1 journey. We still take our shots every week. We're both in maintenance. I've been in maintenance now for a little over a year. It's just been amazing. That's another whole ball of wax. So welcome. You got anything to say, Mr. Durham? We're married for 23 years, by the way, if you're new here.
We are married for 23 years. We've been on this journey. I've been in maintenance now more than a year. Lorraine's been in it more than 2 years. So we've kind of been through every phase of this.
It has been more than 2 years.
Yeah, we have seen manufacturer shortages from Eli Lilly. I've been forced to change doses. Thank you, Lilly. Not really thank you, Lilly, because of shortages. We've seen panics over compounding going away, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 or 5 times.
Many times.
Many times.
Too many for me to get upset about it anymore. Okay.
And we've done the news every week. Almost 2 years, not quite 2 years, but almost 2 years.
People love the news, right, Mindy? Right, Darian? Right, Dennis? People do love the news.
Basically, my goal in talking about the news, and it's kind of the setup for this whole show today, is to bring you a well-researched, credible, sane.
You spelled my name wrong.
Sure did.
See, I wasn't there to proofread until just now. Keep telling us. Tell us more about about the news. That's funny.
There you go.
It's
correctly spelled.
All right, it's going to take a minute to change.
Well, I don't know.
My name is spelled Laraine. Laraine. I'm Laraine. He's Christopher. Don't call him Chris. He likes to be called Christopher. Usually I don't get upset about my name being misspelled. My maiden name's Orphanides. So
appear correctly now, yeah.
And now it is corrected. Thank you very much. Now you may continue.
Anyway, trying to tell you what's going on. I honestly tried to figure it out for ourselves, really from a non-sensational, non-clickbaity kind of way about it, and just put the information out there in a well-written, educated approach. Honestly, more like old school news, like news used to be when it was still credible. And I don't know that we quite reached that level, but we try. And we do the best we can. Somebody asked the other day, well, you're just reading a corporate script. I'm like, no, we're not reading a corporate script.
He wrote it.
I write all the stories.
I am reading the script that he wrote. I like
I
to
write all the
proofread
stories,
it.
and if you look across the stories each week, there's usually 10 to 12 stories coming from a variety of sources. So I curate
Yeah.
a whole lot of news. We compile news. We're not creating news stories, right? This
We're
is all
just
stuff that's
gathering
out
it.
there. We're gathering,
Yeah.
but we're bringing perspective and
We just know you
intelligence
are.
to stories that are otherwise kind of confusing, and we're running it through the filter
Medicare.
that is being a patient.
Confusing, right? Yeah, there's a lot of confusing information out there, and people want to come to a place where they can trust the information, and we're not here to scare you or clickbait you or any of that. Okay, I hate that. I really hate that. I hate to panic people. I don't want to. I'm not panicking. You know, compounding for us, we pay out of pocket, right? We've paid out of pocket for this entire journey. Our health insurance does not cover any of these treatments. And there's 4 people in our family on these treatments. So, when we first started this channel, I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could cover the cost of our medications? And that's how we've grown this into basically a full-time job now. So we're dedicated to this. We have skin in the game, and we're gonna, I had one of our longtime viewers, Tammy, messaging me through Facebook and, asking me questions. And I'm like, it's okay. At some point, maybe it won't be okay. Today, it's okay. I can tell you what it is today.
So all that being said, if you saw the thumbnail for this one, it's a kind of clickbaity looking thumbnail.
What does it say?
It's bright, and I mean, it says the 3 things that are in the news today, but it is the news. So it's not spinning it in any weird way, although it was a clever play on words. GLP Medicare program off balance. Get it?
Oh.
What's next?
FDA halts BPI compounding. BPI, not all compounding.
Right.
This,
so today
I
do. So we're just going to talk this through today. I'm not going to read a script. I'm not going to give you a couple of these things I have actually filmed full depth explainers on. The one for balance will come out in the morning. So if you've been following along on balance and the bridge programs with Medicare, I've done 3 or 4, and they're 20, 30-minute videos that are very detailed, kind of telling you everything you need to know. Well, this is another one of those. So it's as these things evolve, I'm updating them, and I'm giving you as much information as I possibly have. And honestly, assuming people have never seen the prior videos, because we have so many people coming to it each time.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, we're going to chat through this today, and then you can watch the longer video in the morning. So earlier this week, CVS Health, which is the company that owns Aetna, the insurance company, CVS, Caremark, the PBM, and CVS, the drugstore, so they own all 3, basically told, I think it was Bloomberg, one of the news outlets, that they were not participating in the Medicare Balance Program. So if you're new here and you haven't watched those prior videos, essentially coming out of the administration's push with drug pricing came 2 programs: the Bridge program, which is designed to be a temporary stopgap that would start July 1st and go through the end of the year, that would enable Medicare patients to get $50 drugs, and it would be administered outside of Medicare Part D by Humana. And then that was supposed to end, and a new program called Balance, and it's an acronym that stands for something I don't even remember what it stands for, was supposed to start January 1st, that would run through 2031, I believe it was. And it was a test program designed to figure out whether the government could actually do this and see what the benefits of it were, because the reality of covering weight loss medications is it's against the law right now for the federal government to pay for it. There are federal laws that say it cannot be covered.
Medicare can't cover obesity medications.
Right. So now everybody's going to say, but I'm getting it for, well, if you're on Medicare right now, the odds that you're using a GLP-1 for type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, some other cardiac, it's not a weight loss or obesity diagnosis, because that's against the law in 99% of all cases. And that's what they're trying to fix. There's another law running through the House called TROA, the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act, that's trying to get rid of that. But basically, this balance program is designed to test that out and have something to take back to Congress to say, look, it works, change the law, right? So right now it's a test. Theoretically, it's even an illegal test, but they get to say, Congress, we're testing something to show you, so that's okay.
But then CVS just said.
But what happened was, as part of that, Medicare or CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and I get those reversed all the time, so maybe I did there, said we have to have an 80% participation in Medicare Part D plans.
People have to opt into Medicare
Not people,
Part D.
the companies that run the plans.
That run the plans.
So United Health, Aetna, all those out there that run the plans have to opt in. So the biggest ones in the United States are CVS, Aetna, and United Health. Well, CVS said, no, we're out. We're not doing it. They told Bloomberg that, which immediately sent the world spinning. At the same time, United Health, in their quarterly call, basically said, we're still evaluating it. We will not commit to doing this, and we don't think it's a usable plan. Watch the video tomorrow. I have direct quotes from them. That's not a direct quote, but I have direct quotes from them that tell you. So they didn't fully say no, but they said, yeah, not really. We don't really like this idea. It's not workable for us.
You know, CVS stopped covering us. We have a healthcare plan through the marketplace, and CVS was a preferred pharmacy. And as of this year, no, they're out. I can't fill my prescriptions at CVS anymore. They're forcing me to go down the street to Walgreens. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with CVS. Well,
CVS is. I mean, CVS also did the whole shift where they basically booted Zepbound. Out and said Wegovy is the preferred thing.
Everyone on Zepbound lost coverage.
There's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to pop this up. Mel B, thank you very much. We appreciate that, Mel B. Let me get working through this, and I will get to your question, I promise you, but thank you for the super chat.
Hey, Mel B. Laraine is high energy today, and I'm here for it. Yes, Mel B. Thoughts on?
She wants to know about BPI and
downstream impact of the BPI Halts.
So we'll come back to your question, Mel B. But let me get through the whole balance and
Love you, Mel B.
and all that stuff first, because there's a lot going on. Essentially, what that did was mean that because those are the two biggest companies in the world that are covering the United States that are covering all that, the program was dead in the water because Medicare had to have 80% participation. They just weren't going to get it.
If CVS is playing, then they're not.
This happened on Tuesday. This floundered about a little bit. We weren't really sure what was going to happen. This morning, the CMS sent out emails to the Medicare teams, and I've got a copy of the email you can see in the video tomorrow. I'll read you the email that they say in the video tomorrow. That said that basically what they will do instead is extend the bridge program through the end of next year. So if you opt into the bridge program in July, the bridge program will extend through the end of next year, and then they will reevaluate balance and come back to the party and tell us if it's going to work, if they can figure out a way to get CVS and the other folks to play, if they have to reinvent the wheel, what happens. But we don't know after 27 what will happen to it. So short-term fix, the reality of the short-term fix is it's probably easier for most people to get into that because you don't actually doesn't matter which Medicare D program you have. If you get into the bridge program, you get into it, and it should be good through.
And don't they have to have certain medical qualifications?
There is a whole set of medical criteria. That's in the video that I published last week, and it'll be in the video that I published tomorrow.
Right.
I would have to look them up, but they're too specific. I cannot personally. Yeah, no,
that's the question that we get all the time. Am I going to qualify for? Watch the
criteria is in the videos, I promise. There's also links to the CMS FAQ if you want to really go dive in deep to it, but I'm giving you all the information.
And you've published 2 videos already.
I've published 4 videos.
Oh, excusez-moi. About CMS and about Medicare and about the bridge.
Well, I mean, this all goes back to the White House's press conference that we covered
Right.
when we were at Obesity Week last year.
And
This
that
is all
was
flowing
in
out
October,
October. Yeah.
November?
Yep.
Something like that. Uh,
So all that to
Yeah.
be said, Bridge exists. You can apply through your doctor. You have to have a doctor who will submit it, not you, but a doctor who can submit it beginning July 1st. Submit it, and it will be dependent on your original obesity diagnosis and BMI and comorbidities. So not your current weight, not your current BMI. Whatever the original one was is what it's dependent on. A lot of people asked
Yeah.
about that. So if you don't currently have a doctor who has that information, you need to find a doctor and tell them what's going on and give them as much documentation as you can. If you're using a telehealth, some telehealths are willing to help with this, some are not. If not, get your records from the telehealth. If you've got spreadsheets like Laraine, get that. If you've got a scale app, get that. Anything you can do to take it in and find a doctor to sit down and go, I need help.
Doctors love data.
Because the doctor will need to submit your diagnosis and your starting BMI and comorbidities.
Right. Starting BMI, because once you're diagnosed with obesity, you always have obesity.
And many of you are on
right?
maintenance.
It doesn't
go
away.
This will still be okay on maintenance.
Yeah.
And at no point in any of this Bridge or Balance conversation do they talk about brand versus compounded. They don't care.
Mm-mm.
It's if you started on GLP-1 treatment,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. But make sure you have a doctor who has all the information.
Right. And this is why, I use Mochi Health, but my in-person doctor, I've been telling her now for the past 2 years that I'm on tirzepatide, and it is in my chart that patient has been taking tirzepatide, like it's in the notes and it's in the medications that I take. Once you're diagnosed with obesity, you always have obesity because there is no cure for obesity. These medications are treatments, not cures. Obesity is a chronic progressive disease. We know lots of chronic progressive diseases like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, asthma, diabetes. So, make sure you get those things in your chart.
What I would tell you is the good thing about BMI, even though it's an imperfect measure, is it's super easy to calculate.
Right.
All your doctor really has to know is how much you weighed and how tall you are.
Height-weight ratio.
Height-weight ratio. And if you're using a digital scale, like we use the Human Body Pod, we're sponsored by the Human Body Pod, but any digital scale will work.
Yeah.
And you walk in with your app to your doctor should be able to take that data from your scale because it has dates associated with it and look back and go, oh, on January 1st, you weighed this. You were 250 pounds and you're 5'4" tall. Easy math. Here's your BMI. Right. So it should be an easily calculable thing.
My weight goes.
If you'd like your own Human Body Pod, there's a link in the description there too.
Yeah, use our code Downsized if you want to save some money on that. Okay.
So I'm going to go through all these stories to begin it with, and then we'll come back and take questions. Okay. So that's CVS, that's United Health, that's Balance, and that's Bridge. Right. We kind of went through at the high level. Please, there'll be a video that comes out at 9:00 tomorrow morning that gives you all the details. Make sure you check that out. The next thing was BPI compounding. Now, for those of you, I saw a couple of people in the question going, what is BPI? BPI is a 503B compounding pharmacy that has sold compounded semaglutide, tirzepatide to many telehealths. It's a very large pharmacy.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who don't have all the background, basically there are two kinds of pharmacies in the United States. There are 503A pharmacies and 503B compounding pharmacies. 503A is supposed to be a smaller one that's designed to fill prescriptions just for your specific needs. So it's personalized, customized medications.
Like the one down the street in our
Right.
town across from the hospital.
Very often your child can't take a pill or has an allergy, or
Needs
they actually do
dye-free or
pet
something.
medicine too.
Yeah. They'll mix it up right there.
And that's the kind of pharmacist that has been around since the very beginning of time.
Right.
Since before manufacturing, they were sitting there with a mortar and pestle. It's all much more advanced
So
now.
the 503As are small.
Are small or smaller.
Smaller.
503Bs,
bigger. Be bigger.
right.
See what I did there?
Bigger
Be
are
bigger.
designed and designated by the FDA as manufacturing pharmacies. And their goal is to create at scale, and they're FDA regulated. 503A are state regulated. 503B are FDA regulated. They're FDA inspected. They have to follow all the restrictions for all those regulations. And the reason that they could produce semaglutide and tirzepatide is because those drugs were in shortage. Specifically says under a federal FDA shortage, they're allowed to do that to fill in the gap.
Right.
Or in other drugs, and they make other stuff, they very often make all the saline drip solutions. There's a lot of times them in hospitals where they make large volumes of medicines for them.
Yeah. So these drugs were in shortage fall of 2023, spring of 2024. Right. The shortages are now officially over. Is that correct?
The FDA declared the shortages over. There are those of you who will dispute that. I think they are actually over. But once the shortage was over, there was no legal justification for 503B pharmacies to continue.
Right.
And most of them stopped for a little while. And then they figured out that the FDA, even though that's what the law said, they really didn't have the manpower, the desire.
Maybe they weren't going to do anything.
It's kind of like speeding, right? Well, it says 65, but I can go over. Nobody's going to catch me. And then they kind of operated like that. And they have operated like that since the shortage was over. Quite a few of them. In the last month, the FDA put out another advisory. We put and reiterated a lot of the rules. We put out a video. We
really mean it.
Yeah, we really mean it. Put out another video. We put out a video from Lisbon, or from Porto, Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
You may have seen it's a short that said, "Hey, the FDA just put out this advisory. It's a little scary. Let us tell you about it." You can panic a little bit, and so what this is flowing out of that. That's these larger 503B pharmacies realizing that it is against the law for them to produce these, and they're stopping. This follows in the last 2 weeks, ProRx, another 503B pharmacy, also stopping production. So now ProRx had some other issues. They had violations and other things going on. So I think that's a bigger story. But in this case, BPI is a good pharmacy. There's no big deal. So let's go back to the Mel B's question.
LB.
So what do we think about the downstream impact of BPI? Well, what I think 503B pharmacies are by and large going to stop producing medications first. I think there may well be a 503B pharmacy who has the legal funding to sue, and we may see one of the trade associations sue, or both of the trade associations sue.
Yeah.
That would not shock me, and they may ask for a stay against and be able to produce. Who knows? The American legal system is very slow, but it would not surprise me if we see them sue. It's happened a couple of times before, so we'll see what happens. But I think most of them are just going to say it's not worth the effort and we're going to get out of the game, which means the telehealths are going to have to scramble to find other pharmacies to fill their prescriptions.
Yeah.
Now, the 503As are still producing. So
personalized doses, and we can debate. And there's lots of people out there that'll debate whether they're really personalized and whether that's really legal and all. This is the law as it stands today, and until the FDA or a judge asserts something different, they're able to do it. So as of today, they're able to do it. Right. So I guess a lot of telehealths use BPI. BPI's never been a choice for me on my Mochi list of pharmacies. Maybe, but it does vary by state. So maybe somebody else out there has a different experience. But
so I think it's very possible.
They'll have to switch people to another.
Yeah, pharmacy. I mean, the challenge is there's no official statement about how many telehealths or how many people would be impacted by BPI no longer producing, or by ProRx no longer producing, or any of the other 503B. We don't know what percentage of patients are getting them through which kind of pharmacy. We just don't know. So it is possible that you see some slowdowns and some slower deliveries. I think 503As can definitely fill the prescriptions, but they're not set up in the same way. I mean, when you walk into a 503B pharmacy, if you Google one of them, very often on their website, you see these giant factories that are completely automated, right? That there's just vials just going through it and through it and through it. And there's restrictions on 503As that are usually, they can produce a couple hundred vials. They have to test, they have to clean, they can produce a couple hundred vials, they have to test, they have to clean. So it's a much slower process at volume. Now, a couple hundred is still a lot for most people, but in the scheme of GLP-1s, that's not that many patients, right? So what do I think is going to be the downstream impact? I think it will probably slow things down. I think most 503Bs will stop producing.
Yeah, 503Bs are the bigger ones, the mass production ones. There's a lot of little ones out there, and there's a lot of little ones out there. I see more and more pop up all the time. People are asking us about more and more all the time. There's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of people there's a high demand for these products, and it's people aren't going to stop wanting them. People aren't going to stop making them unless the FDA somehow comes and shuts them down. And I think that would be very hard for them to enforce, to do.
All right, so there's 409 of you out there and 107 likes. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to hit like and subscribe. I would appreciate that. It helps get the word out.
Yep. So
I'm trying to get back to the
I think some people think that we're like a big corporation, or that we have like a staff of people that help us. We're the staff. We're the staff. So Christopher does all the technical work, right? So the light and the sound and the editing, and most all that 95% of the heavy lifting. So I just have been on one weight loss plan or another since about the age of 10. So I can completely relate to people's struggles with the disease of obesity, with trying to diet and exercise. I've been trying to diet and exercise my whole life. I interviewed a lady today. It was actually, I think, the second or third interview that we've done with her, named Susie. And I was talking about, Weight Watchers. And she said, Laraine, your middle name is Weight Watchers. I've been off and on Weight Watchers since the mid 80s. I started as a teenager. So, if you have the disease of obesity, I could lose 10, 20, 30 pounds. I've done that a lot of times, 5-6 times maybe over the course of my life. But it's like Oprah says, trying to hold your breath underwater, right? I can white knuckle it. I can fight that food noise for so long. I can count those calories and really get the most out of them. But at some point, my body's just going to say, nope, you think you want to be down here at 160 pounds? We're going to push you back to your place where we like you at 185 pounds. So I understand the struggle. I understand what it's like. And these medications work. They're a very effective treatment for the disease of obesity, and we believe in them strongly, 100%. We also believe that people should have access to them, that insurance companies should cover them. I mean,
they should be affordable.
They should be affordable.
Let's take some questions. We're going to do this a little bit different this week. I'm not going to say hello to everybody saying hello, so we're going to skip through. And we're going to try and get to as many questions as we can. I don't even know how many comments there are but there's hundreds out there. So 392 of you.
Thanks, y'all.
173 likes. Thank you very much. Christopher, Laraine, that's us. Let's see here. Snowy says, did anyone panic buy? I panic bought a bunch after ProRx, but wondering if I need more. Snowy, I'll tell you my recommendation. I would not say panic buy. I would say make sure you have 3 months.
Yeah, put in a reorder. And then
please,
next week, maybe put in another reorder.
I saw people
maybe put in another after that.
I would have 3 months for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think the 503As are going to stop anytime soon. I really don't. I think there's going to be there's so many legal cases going on right now. I don't think they're going to stop. And I don't think the FDA has the staff or the wherewithal to chase them all down. And, they're not going to stop until they make them. But I wouldn't. And then I would be careful not to go past bud dates, because I have talked to somebody who went 6 months past the bud date. And then they were like, hey, the medication doesn't seem to be working. It's water. It's 6 months past the bud date, people.
And I think it was out of the refrigerator for the problem with panic buying or buying big quantities or stocking up, right? These medications need to be in the refrigerator, right? And then once they're punctured, once the vial is punctured, best practice is to use it within 28 days, right? So, and they have best use by dates on them. So, the manufacturer says, hey, you should use it by this date. So what happens if you buy a year's supply and it's the middle of the summer and your power goes out?
Or 6 months past the due.
Or for some reason you have to go off the medication for a surgery or something, and you come back to it, and now all your medication is past its bud date. So, 3 month supply is probably.
Barb Redger says, "Ugh, they pulled it out from under us."
Not completely, but
here's the thing, Barb. I mean,
you can go to Mochi Health right now and.
I think the program's super exciting, and if it comes to fruition, I will absolutely love it for everybody who gets it, because I celebrate every time anybody gets
I mean, that's what we want, is what people to have access.
I don't know. I'm 57 years old, and I've seen our government.
It's on the horizon.
I've seen our government do so many things through so many different administrations, and say they were doing one thing and then do another, or it just takes so long, or it never come to fruition, that until somebody actually starts getting $50 medication.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, that's kind of why I'm like, I can't get. I mean, we're 57. I mean, personally, I'm far. 65 seems far away. It's not far away, but it seems far away, and I can't get all upset every time something changes for the proposed Medicare plan that's going to happen maybe at some point in the future. Like, I know if you're on Medicare right now, it's of the utmost importance, and that's why Christopher is doing these thorough investigations and bringing you these stories, because it is important, but it's. I mean, it seems like it's changing every week or every other day lately.
It is. And honestly, I have taken with all of this news to a point where I don't like to instantly react. Honestly, right. I would rather do a report the next day than be the first one out there, because I want to make sure what I'm telling you is correct.
Right.
So I want to see what everybody else is saying. I want to see the source document. I want to see that CMS email that went out. I want to see all the stuff, because I don't want to have to come back and tell you, hey, I was wrong. Hey, or you get your hopes up, and then and it happens. I mean, there's no way to be 100% accurate, but I just don't want to do that. So Linda Bookmiller, hello, Linda, who's a member of Club Downsized. Thank you, Linda. Says, hey, everyone. So Bridge is now going to go until at the end of 2027. That is what it looks like. They had not actually updated the FAQs on the site. Now, they may have in the last hour since I looked. Until they do that and we see those dates change, and that they haven't changed any of the other criteria, because they could. We don't, nothing's actually been implemented yet. But yeah, as of right now, it looks like it will go through the end of 2027. Let's see here. Let me find. Hell, we've got a lot of people saying hello.
Linda's a member of Club Downsized. If you'd like to support our channel further, our content's always free, but you can click that join button and find out more about that. It's Barb from Health at Any Cost.
So she says, I'm officially on Medicare, and yes, it pays for Mounjaro, and I get 3 boxes for the low price of $1.10. Now, Barb is a type 2 diabetic, so I know she's getting it for diabetes, though, not for obesity, although she has lost a great deal of weight.
She went from 405 pounds to 120 pounds over, was it 3 years, Barb? You can give us the exact stats. I think she's been on a GLP-1 for a little over 4 years. So she's obviously had great success with it.
Let's see here. Todd Stevenson says, hello, Christopher and Laraine, and to all the Downsized community. Enjoy your interview with Frank. Looking forward to my interview with you, although I'm about the same age, much different story.
All right.
Todd, I look forward to it.
We interview people every week, and they talk about their personal stories. It's called the Downsized Dish. If you're interested in telling us your story, you can go to our website, thedownsized.org, click the Downsized Dish tab, and fill out the application.
I said I wasn't going to say anybody, but there's someone from Sweden here. So hello. Please don't ask me to say your name. But hello. I've never been to Sweden. So hello from Sweden.
All right.
And there's Anthony giving Laraine a hard time here.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. That is I say that all the time, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. There's me. Have you heard about GLP-1's cashier? Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. I'm sorry.
ZYXW4321, that's a catchy name you got there. And it looks like a duck. Christopher, thank you for your effort you spend to keep us so well informed. I thought I'd share a milestone with you. I have achieved Wonderland for the first time in 41 years.
Wonderland! That's when your weight starts with a number 1. Yay! That's fantastic. ZYXW-4321. All right. Congratulations. Lori Wise.
I want to start compounding after using Wegovy going on 2 months. I'm afraid to start. I mean, here's the thing. Even if compounding goes away, the Wegovy will still be there. It'll still be the same price. Wegovy doesn't have any price escalation built into it like a Zepbound does. So you can always come back.
Well, there's also the Wegovy pill now. The pill form of Wegovy came out in, was it January? You have to take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach with no more than 4 ounces of water, and you have to wait 30 minutes before you eat anything. There's a lot of interest in that. And you could, I mean, you're on, I want to start, yeah, I think either way you want to go, I think you'll be fine. Camaro dust, 50 pounds less in Nebraska. I wonder which state has the highest use of GLP.
Believe it or not, we did a news story on this.
What was it?
My memory is reaching for it. It's either West Virginia or Kentucky. I don't remember which one, but it's one of those.
Is that like percentage of the population, highest
GLP-1
percent?
use? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was largely because they're
type 2 diabetes.
Well, and I think their teachers were all covered too.
Oh,
there's a whole. It's either West Virginia or Kentucky, but somebody can look
in North
that up.
Carolina, all the teachers were covered for a while. I don't think they are anymore.
Lovely one says, "Hi, did your girls start the same time you did, or did you test it out for a few months?" Yeah, no, our girls did not, and our girls were. Well, they were both underage, so they couldn't have started on Zepbound tirzepatide anyway.
Well, go back. So when we started September 29th of 2023, I wasn't completely convinced that I just didn't waste a bunch of money. Yeah. So he said, "Yeah, I want to do it." I said, "Yeah, I want to do it." We each bought a 3-month supply because that's the telehealth that we started with. That's how they did it, and I was really thinking, I hope this works. I've said that about a million diet programs, right? I've said it so many times. So we just started taking the shots, and we didn't tell anybody. We didn't tell our family. We didn't tell our kids. We told no one. We started at the end of September, and by January, I mean, I think I was down 30 pounds. I mean, it was just like through the holiday, we lost weight. Through Halloween.
Anyway, let's not go on your whole journey.
Anyway, so now the girls started started later.
Yeah, like a year later.
Yeah.
Year and a half, actually.
Yeah. They don't really like us to talk about them, so I won't go into that. But we did test it out first for sure.
Let's see here. Martha says, how do I stop the interrupting ads? So the ads are run by YouTube. And they are what they are. If you don't like ads in YouTube, you can pay for a YouTube membership. Like you can be we get no money from that though, so it doesn't matter to me whether you do that.
We appreciate you watching the ads, but we know they are annoying.
So the premium YouTube will do that.
I don't like
Vicky Dombrowski. Do you know if you have to enroll in the Bridge program in July if you want it to be covered in 2027? I think it's a rolling start, Vicky, but honestly, I would enroll as soon as you can. My guess would be there's going to be an avalanche of people. This is not going to go smoothly. I just can't imagine a world in which it does when, 1 million people all show up going, give me my.
It's going to be like Taylor Swift shutting down Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Breaking the internet.
I would go ahead and start as soon as you can and get on, make sure you have everything. Now, maybe you're not of the right age yet, or I don't know what's going on, but as soon as you can go, I would start getting involved in it. And the worst thing that happens is you go ahead and get on it and you get a couple of pins ahead and okay, that's fine. It is what it is. Let's see here.
Becky Clark. Hey, Becky Clark. Personally, for me, because of possible power outage, I don't get too carried away on stocking up. Good idea. Still, it's the way you look at your situation. Exactly. I mean, Becky Clark's been a faithful viewer and Downsized Club member for quite a while now. So I would listen to her. And thanks, Becky Clark, for your comment.
Deborah Kendrick says, is there a place to see who opted in? I have WellCare Medicare Part D. Well, Deborah, there's not a place, and even if there was, it wouldn't matter because the balance program doesn't move forward because it couldn't get the 80%. So it doesn't, you will not have to, it won't matter which Medicare Part D program you have, because in Bridge, it's all managed through CMS. And so you have to have a Medicare Part D program, but it doesn't matter which one you have. You just have to have one.
It's so confusing.
It is very confusing. There's another video coming out tomorrow, and there's one from last week. Like and
subscribe. Hit the bell so you'll be notified as soon as that video goes live.
When I do these, there's a lot of detail there.
Yeah.
So some people love it, and some people are like, "That was so boring." I'm like, "Then don't watch it."
There's just a lot of detail, and we get so many questions on this that this is, it's just helpful to have it all in one place. Pep with Pam. CVS needs to step up for our seniors and disabled citizens. They sure do. They sure do. I mean, I've been with CVS for years, and now I can't get my medications there anymore. Barbariba. One. Haven't caught alive in a few weeks. Started Zepbound 56 weeks ago, down 127 pounds. Fantastic. And I am under 200 as of 3 weeks ago. Down 180 pounds since my highest ever weight. I feel awesome. Thank you, Zepbound. That is fantastic. Fantastic. 56 weeks ago, you're a little over 2 pounds a week, so you're a little bit above the average, right? The average weight loss on these medications is between a ½ pound a week and 2 pounds a week. So a lot of people, are in that average, and you're doing a little bit better, so that's fantastic.
Ann Quintman says, do you know if CVS will cover Zepbound to treat metabolic syndrome? Most people are treated for obesity, suffer from metabolic syndrome. So where approvals and treatment come from is it starts with the drug manufacturer submitting clinical trial research to the FDA to have it approved for a given treatment. So
that hasn't been studied, I would guess.
So tirzepatide, Zepbound, Mounjaro was approved for diabetes. That it had to be submitted, then FDA had to say it was submitted, and then each individual insurance company had to say, okay, we agree with that, and we'll now pay for it. Then Zepbound was approved for obesity, had to be submitted to the FDA, and so on. And there's ones for, Zepbound's been submitted for sleep apnea, and so on. And both Lilly and Novo have trials running on dozens and dozens of things because they want it approved for as many things as possible because they want to sell as many medications as possible.
So Zepbound has not been approved to treat metabolic syndrome.
Well, to my knowledge, there's no DSM diagnosis of
What's a
metabolic syndrome.
DSM?
So diagnostics and
Right. I
statistical
think
manual. Someone can correct me.
Yeah. I think
typic-
metabolic syndrome is just a, well, I don't really know. So I won't
Typically
speak to
not
it.
a doctor.
Yeah.
My understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that things that are called syndromes are generally clusters of symptoms. And
Right. Like PCOS.
yeah, and it's not that they don't have, they're not real, but they're
exist.
clusters of symptoms, and they haven't raised to the level of disease yet,
Right.
or
haven't recognized.
they just
as a
have a
disease.
different level of recognition. Traditionally, drug companies don't like to get things cleared for syndromes because insurance companies look at it and go, well, that could be something else.
Right.
That cluster of symptoms looks kind of like this.
Yeah.
Whereas a disease, here's
the.
And if you're
things in
wondering
the
about
disease,
obesity as a disease, I have a whole other video that explains why it's a disease. You can go watch that one as well.
Well, and the American Medical Association did classify obesity as a disease years ago.
I think that's the same question. Okay, so do you know if you have to enroll in the bridge program starting in July if you want to start in June in 2027? Reason being, I've met my deductible for this year and it is $0. Well, so for the bridge program, there will be no deductible. It will not matter. If you qualify for the bridge program, you will just pay $50. That's it. Good. Conversely, the money that you spend on that will not count towards your Medicare deductible. So it is a separate fund, So that
$50 doesn't go toward any deductible
it does
totals.
Not. So it's a whole separate program. So even if you've met your deductible on Part D, I would go ahead and apply because you're
Did you ever think you'd be an expert in Medicare or obesity coverage?
No.
LKW3132. Oh, yay. Not too bad of news. Bridge at 50 is lower than what I pay on current Medicare drug plan. Yeah, for sure. For a lot of people. The MLB, I do like that you guys aren't hyperbolic. You research before you declare breaking news. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to be, like Christopher said, he doesn't necessarily want to be the first with some news. He wants to be the most accurate. He wants to be the most trusted source. We don't want to be the National Enquirer. We want to be
60
the New York
Minutes.
Times. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. Why WYO Cowboy? This question: have you heard whether Bridge and Balance programs will accept TRICARE for life TFL clients?
That's the next question.
TFL acts like Medicare Part D for military retirees, but TFL tells me it is not Part D, so no CMS trial. It does not explicitly say in the CMS FAQ. It doesn't even acknowledge TRICARE exists. There's no TRICARE in the FAQ at all. My understanding, based on talking to people in similar situations to you, is exactly what you said, is that it is not a Part D program, and you just won't be eligible for it, is my understanding. I could be wrong though. I have no CMS hotline to call up and say
and ask questions. Yeah. We only know what they publish.
This has been an ongoing question and an ongoing persistence, and it's honestly ridiculous. It is ridiculous that our government, the bureaucracy that is our government, the CMS and all of that, didn't go, well, what about TRICARE? What about our veterans? Maybe we should help them out too. And is there a great conspiracy? I don't know. Even if there's not a great conspiracy, it's just an overthought, and it's one that they've overlooked, 100%. And it's when they should not make.
Absolutely.
There should always be that question of, well,
absolutely.
Are veterans covered? Yes, they should be.
My dad's a veteran. He didn't go to the VA for his treatments because it would have taken too long. You know what I mean? It's just a very sad situation.
Cherry Pie says Medicaid is supposed to start in May, but yet pharmacies have zero idea what I'm talking about. Well, it's not supposed to start in May, really. What's supposed to happen is that the states are able to opt into Medicaid. Okay, so Medicaid is a significantly more complex beast because unlike Medicare, where it's a federal program that goes out uniformly, Medicaid is state by state. So right now there are 13 or 14 states that actually cover GLP-1s under their Medicaid program, and it's because they decided to do that. So if your state does not opt into this program, then you will not be eligible for it. Okay. And so if you want to do something right now, call your state congressman, call your governor, call whatever and say, hey, we want to be on this program, because that part of the balance is still moving forward. It didn't have the 80% reliance. That was part of Medicaid. It works in a completely different way. But there's no doubt in my mind that pharmacies don't know anything about it, and they shouldn't. They don't run policy. So until it actually gets rolled out, your CVS, your Walgreens, Jim's Pharmacy, they're not going to have a clue about it.
They'll punch it in one day and it'll be the price that it is, and that's what they know at the pharmacy, right? Or maybe they get advance notice on it. I don't know how that works. Barb Rogers 2123 says, I am already on Zepbound through my Part D, so that's bad news. I was going to be able to get on the Balance program. Crying face. Oh, well, at least I'm getting my Zepbound.
Well, at least you're covered. You must have another diagnosis. Let's see here.
Fill that script every 21 days.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I think you can fill it like right at 21 days, right? And sometimes when you fill it at the pharmacy, they have to order it. So even before you're really eligible, you can ask them if they have it in stock, and you know what I mean? So you want to fill it as often as you can.
So Wendy Ball says, I called my doctor and spoke with the nurse who prescribed Zepbound, but she says she can't find anything out in any forms to fill out and who to send it to. So to my knowledge, they haven't done any training or education about this program that gets down to the physician level yet. Hopefully they will. There's nothing for your doctor or nurse the portal isn't open yet. So
Right.
Humana will run a portal. They'll be able to go to, I didn't put the link in this description. If you look at our video tomorrow, there will be a link to the CMS FAQs, and there's a place where doctors can click on it and go to look at what they're going to have to do.
Oh, that's
the portal
nice.
does not open until July 1st, though, so there's nothing.
Nothing to be done.
All you as a patient can do is talk to your doctor and make sure they're ready. So make sure they have everything they need, and it says in the CMS FAQ, it'll say in the video last week, more information tomorrow, such that, on July 1st, they've got it all in front of them. They go, her BMI is this. She has these comorbidities. This is the prescription I'm writing, and they fill it out, and it goes directly into the portal. It's an acronym from Humana. I don't remember what it's called, but it's one that they have used. So it's one that's been used before out there.
R.E. Houston, Texas, CVS Caremark switched my PA from Zepbound to Wegovy last year. Yeah, they did that for a whole bunch of folks. I took Wegovy for 4 weeks. I appealed and got approved for Mounjaro as a secondary alternative treatment for obesity via a PA exception. Yeah, that was a workaround. Many people had found that when Caremark switched them from Zepbound to Wegovy, if they took the Wegovy for a month and said, hey, this isn't working for me, and appealed, some people were able to get the Mounjaro.
The number I saw on that was less than 5% of appeals were approved.
Oh, really? I mean, we heard, was it Dr. Joe? Not Dr. Joe. Joe Zuki was talking about that.
That's a different thing. That was just them submitting a different prescription. What this person's saying is their doctor said it didn't work. They can't take it. So,
okay. It's always good to have a doctor who will work with you, right? Mickey Spins at WIO Cowboy. Per the last updated document of 3/27/26, you would still need to go through the bridge, which most likely would be out of pocket and not count towards yearly deductible.
Right, but then that out of pocket is $50. Martha Eckhoff says, when you say CVS, are you referring CVS Caremark or the CVS stores, and who are not opting into the bridge program? So again, there's 3 pieces of CVS Health is the master company, and CVS Health is really what we're talking about, not CVS the drugstore. So there's CVS Health, Aetna, which is their insurance company, which is the one that's not opting into it. They're the ones that actually administer Medicare Part D programs. CVS Caremark, which is the PBM, which they're the ones who so kindly said, well, we're not going to sell you any more. We're not going to do Zepbound or Mounjaro anymore. We're only going to do Wegovy and Ozempic. So they've already switched most of their players from the Lilly products. And CVS Health as a retail pharmacy will say they don't care. They'll have all the drugs. They're still going to have, they're not going to stop selling.
Right. So if I can walk into CVS as just Laraine Durham and with any prescription and get anything I want. Now, if I'm a CVS CVS Caremark is my PBM, then you're not going to be able to get.
It's not covered, but that's because of the thing.
Zepbound covered.
6 months ago.
They switched everybody to Wegovy. Now, if I have Aetna as my insurance company,
as your Medicare Part D provider,
they are under the CVS umbrella.
Correct.
So it does get confusing when we talk about CVS, the drugstore that you can walk into down the street, and CVS Caremark, which is the PBM or pharmacy benefits manager for Aetna, for Caremark. Who are they managing? The Aetna people, right?
Oh, CVS Caremark manages a lot of them.
They manage other insurance companies' pharmacy benefits.
Oh yeah,
program?
It's
so confusing. I never knew what a PBM was until we started this journey. Vicki Dombrowski says, just a thought, maybe we should boycott the pharmacies that have said no to the bridge program. GLP-1 users are a big growing population. Maybe that will get their attention.
Well, so it's not pharmacies that said no.
It's not the pharmacies.
It's the insurance agencies.
The insurance. So it's the Aetna branch of
Aetna,
the CVS Caremark.
CVS, the drugstore, is also part of that. So if you want to not go to them, that's fine. They don't take our insurance anymore anyway. So we
won't be going there because they're not a preferred pharmacy for us anymore. And you can vote with your dollars. Feel free to always vote with your dollars, and hopefully that makes an impact.
So Christy's Place, who's a member, thank you. Christy says, panicking a lot, breathe, just breathe. You don't need to panic. Okay. Do you even know whether so the Medicare thing is a challenge, but assuming you qualified for it, you will still qualify for it in July, and it will still go through the end of 2027. Things will change 100 times before now and the end of 2027.
They've changed 100 times between January 1st and now.
Yeah. I can assure you that we will have, about 500 more videos between now and then. So,
like and subscribe to the Downsized for your trusted news GLP-1 updates.
If you're using compounded and you're worried about BPI, stop making it. There's still going to be 503As out there selling it, so it'll be okay.
I hope so, because that's where I'm getting mine from 503As, and I'll keep getting it until I can't get it. And the day I can get it nowhere anymore, I will come on here live that day and say, sorry, folks, we're closed. But, until that happens, it hasn't happened. Vicki Dombrowski says, I heard today that Amazon is going to start telehealth program for GLP-1s. Also saying that they will provide same-day delivery in many cases.
Yeah, and we'll have this story in the news this week. It's very similar to the Walmart story we had in the news this past week. Everybody's trying to get in the game. Basically, they're outsourcing their telehealth. They already have an Amazon pharmacy, so that is not a big deal. They're outsourcing their telehealth to somebody else, and you'll be able to do it. Daydream Believer says, my pharmacy, I lost you, Daydream Believer. My pharmacy is a 503A, safe at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
Somebody said hi to Mel B.
Hi to Mel B. We have 443 people out there, 255 likes. My name is Christopher. This is Laraine.
Hola.
We're talking about all kinds of stuff. We can restart if we need to, but I'll answer questions as we go. Let's see. I like when they tell me I'm amazing. Thank you.
Please, y'all. No, he works very hard. Thank you, John. Anthony says JoJo is part of the staff too. She is the CEO. Y'all just don't know it. Well, she took the evening off. She's out roaming the yard, chasing grass and bugs and squirrels and things. So yes, Jojo is our cat. So she usually, sits here at the desk and stares judgingly into the camera.
So Lovely One says, I placed an order at Lilly Direct for my son Wednesday afternoon and got the medication Friday afternoon.
It's fast.
So we have prescriptions to Lilly Direct too for one of our family members, and they come quick. I mean, it really.
I think she placed it yesterday, and it should be here tomorrow. Yeah.
Let's see, what questions do we have here? Darium says,
Hey, Darium.
If you have questions, please start it with a QQQ so you can see it more easily. Absolutely.
Thank you, Darium. Thanks for being one of our moderators. RE Houston, Texas. I was surprised 503Bs were still manufacturing GLP-1s. I think they were just going until somebody really told them, you really got to stop now, y'all. 503As are capitalizing on a loophole. Yep. I wonder how long it will take before the loophole is closed.
I don't know that I would. I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised that 503Bs are still producing as well. I mean, to me, the language, if you go read it, is very, very clear about the reason they can do it, and it can only be done in shortage.
Shortage is over.
Right, it's very clear. 503As, I would not call it a loophole. I would call it an accepted interpretation that the FDA has not challenged.
Personalized dosing. What is personalized dosing? How is it defined?
The challenge of that whole regulation is it was written before GLP-1s,
right,
and they had no foresight. There was no reason for them to have any understanding that this would ever happen.
Mm-mm.
So until the FDA reworks its regulations, and that takes time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to write them, they have to submit them for a review. People could do commentary. It doesn't magically happen overnight. Right. Then they're going to be what they are, and the interpretation will stay. So either the FDA could change something, or one of the 300 court cases out there. Now, there is no court case currently challenging the FDA current interpretation of the law. So there's no court case saying whether that's the right interpretation. There are court cases saying you're stealing our patent. There are court cases saying you're illegally marketing. There are court cases saying this isn't safe. One of those stories in the news was that I'm more pulled for the news is about this telehealth called Zelfie that the feds just shut down and seized the whole business because it turns out they were shady and illegally charging credit cards and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But I mean, that's just illegal business. Buyer
beware, right? So compounding, the 503As are making personalized doses by adding things to tirzepatide or semaglutide, like a B vitamin or glycine or niacinamide or NAD plus or something else, and or they're changing the dose. So, like the Zepbound dose is one of the doses is 10. Maybe they have 11.2 as a dose, or the dose that is 7.5, maybe they have 8.8.
And that last FDA advisory said that it had to be a 10% difference. So I would expect to see the dose changes happen a little bit more.
So 10% of 10 is 1 milligram. The 11, it's just has to be just enough to be different.
So Donald Bazell says, where can you get the cheapest brand name of tirzepatide without insurance? Name? Just trying to think ahead. So brand name tirzepatide is made by Eli Lilly. It is called Zepbound. The pricing is set by Eli Lilly. It's fixed. You can go look at the Eli Lilly Direct website.
The vials, I guess.
Well, the pen and the vials are the same, or the quick pen and the vials are the same price. So this and the vials are the same price.
The cheapest is compounded.
The brand name.
I know, but let's just be
let's
clear.
Answer the actual question.
Compounded is not part of this conversation. If you're asking which is the cheapest Eli Lilly product, this is the most expensive.
But that's not what they're asking. They're not asking.
I was just going to go through the levels.
They're not asking by format. They're asking, it doesn't vary. It doesn't matter whether you get it at Walmart or Lilly Direct or CVS or anywhere else. It's going to be the same price.
It's the same price.
Eli Lilly sets the price.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
No, that's
doesn't matter where
that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So you have Eli Lilly makes Zepbound in a pen applicator. They've also gone to a quick pen, which is it's a month's worth of doses in one. You just change the needle on the top. And they've also gone to Eli Lilly Direct single-use vials. where this isn't it, but it looks like this, and you use an insulin syringe, and it's a one-use vial. So if you go to the Eli Lilly website, you can look up all the pricing there.
Yep.
That doesn't go through insurance. That is cash pay. Wish I could stock up. Mochi only gives me one at a time. That is true. You can take that first shot and place reorder. See what your provider will allow. A lot of times I've told them, I'm going out of town. I need like several doses. I'm going to be gone on a 2 or 3 week trip. And so I can reorder maybe a little bit faster. So it's one at a time, but you can place those reorders pretty fast. Yukon Jack, we should all inundate the FDA with emails, mail, and phone calls every week, once a week. No, let's not do that. I don't want to piss off the FDA.
No, you can do that. Absolutely, go do it. I don't know why you just piss them off. Go for it. Go.
I mean, what are you telling them?
It doesn't matter. Just say, hey, you suck.
What do you want them to do? Like,
you want them to cover your medication.
The FDA doesn't.
That's who the CMS and the FDA are all the same thing. It's all the same branch.
Well, they don't. I mean, maybe if we're talking about Medicare, Medicaid, but
I think that's what we're talking about.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see here. So, Go to MT says, I turned 65 next January. When will I apply for the bridge?
January.
As soon as you were eligible for Medicare.
Yeah. So you turn 65. Yeah. The day you turn 65, I guess you can apply for Medicare, right? So I guess then.
Yep, that's exactly right. As soon as you can.
I was actually looking at the Medicare rules. So I guess once you turn 65, you have 3 months from your birthday to sign up. You have that window when they want you to do it. If you go beyond that, it gets a little bit more complicated.
Here we go.
This is from CJRZ3D. Hi, everyone. Thanks for doing what you two do. Working hard for the advocacy of accessibility and healthier lives. Appreciate you guys. Well, thank you. We appreciate you for watching. Like and subscribe. Wendy Ball says, where does your doctor go for the forms for the bridge programs?
So if you search,
nowhere right now.
No, if you search for the CMS GLP-1 bridge FAQ, and I realize that's long, and I'll put a link in the video tomorrow for it, and scroll down, there are links in there. It's not open right now, though. It will not be open until July 1st. But at some point, they'll add that, and your doctor will be able to go. And there's a system administered by Humana. I don't remember the acronym. I'm sorry, but it's a known system out there that your doctor should be familiar with. Let's see here. We have a super chat.
Hey, Richie C59. Thanks for your super chat of $9.99. I switched to Amazon Pharmacy due to telehealth. Do telehealth through them for name brand Wegovy. Comparable prices to compounded websites with no monthly membership fee. It's $90 a year fee. My insurance covers telehealth. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Is that the Wegovy injection? The Wegovy pill?
The pill is close to a lot of
the pill is reasonably priced to start. So. Thanks for being a member of Club Downsized also. Thank you very much. What is that a picture of? Is that a guitar? What is that?
Hard to say.
I think it is. Anthony, did my joke almost? You almost, indeed, it almost did, Anthony. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Oh, sorry. I was here telling you about my GLP-1. That was pretty funny. I liked that a lot, Anthony. Anthony gets my humor. And I appreciate it. Almost fell out my chair. Paula Harden, 6002. Since we are celebrating wins, I am 2.5 pounds from goal. Woohoo! Well, that's fantastic. Good for you. That's awesome. I never thought I would get to my goal weight. Did y'all ever think that? And then now, you just keep going. You just keep taking your shot week after week, and we're there. I mean, 2.5, like. So close, right? That's, you're going to get there, right? It's amazing. Congratulations. Courtney Bogdan. Hypothetically, let's just say a year from now, compounding is gone and a majority of the tirzepatide users go to Lilly Direct. Could they really handle the demand? And would there be a shortage again? And then we just rinse and repeat.
It's possible. I mean, what I would tell you is I don't believe a majority of the users would actually go to Lilly Direct because I don't believe they could afford it. I think there's a lot of people who are doing it right now because it fits, even if it's stretching them as far as they can possibly go, it's fitting into their budget, and shifting from $199 a month or $99 a month if you're on SEMA to $499 is not something that a lot of people could do. I think the other thing that happens with Lilly particularly is because they now have 3 formats, right? I don't know where the other one went. They have a lot more factories. I don't think you're going to see it. So once the people who couldn't afford it drop off, they turn up the factories. You're not going to see it.
I think they will be. Somebody's gonna get fired if they go into shortage again, right? I think that was they certainly didn't plan for that, and I think if it happens again, like, heads would roll. Like, I think they'd rather spend billions and build all these factories that they're building in Indiana, in Concord, North Carolina, in someone in Alabama. Like, they're building they're spending billions to build these factories, and they're not going to go into shortage again.
Right now, we're seeing 30% of all new GLP-1 prescription starts being oral.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think what they've done is they've tried to spread it out as much as they can across formats. They're trying to get more drugs available and adding in Foundeo. So, and always remember, this is all self-reported.
Mm.
Right? So the FDA doesn't have FDA inspector police that go out and look and count things to see if it's in shortage. If the manufacturer doesn't report it, they don't know.
Right.
Right. So we can go report it on the little reporting site, but until Lilly says it's happening, and I'll tell you, I can't imagine any manufacturer is ever going to self-report that again.
Yeah, I think David Ricks would probably rather die, the CEO of Eli Lilly. He knows it's expensive. He knows people can't afford it. He knows he's got retatrutide coming out hopefully in 2027, and that's going to be like made of gold and lined with, it's going to be the top tier drug. So, and honestly, that was the reason why I wanted to try to drop down my dose. My first thinking when I hit my maintenance goal, I dropped down my dose. I ended at 12.5. I ended up dropping down as low as 5 because I was thinking, well, if at some point I have to go to a branded, the lower doses are the cheapest, right? So would that work for me? Ended up 5 was too low. That didn't work for me. I was on 7.5 for a long time, and I just recently moved up to 10. Just cause. Jeff T9N. Hey guys, week 5, 20 pounds down. Nice. Starting point 404. I've been down this road a lot, so I'm hopeful. What is a normal down day for most? My day doesn't come till like the 5th day. It varies for a lot of people. I remember last year we were at the Obesity Action Coalition conference, and one of the guys there, his name is Teddy. He's a TikToker. He told me his best day was day 3 after he took a shot. And I looked at my kind of, data based on my scale app, and I was like, oh, that kind of seems right too. I don't think there's a reported trend on that. You can definitely track your weight. I weigh myself every day. You're going to see fluctuations during the week, but usually, day 3 or day 4 is probably my lowest weight of the week. But just keep going. You're doing great. It's a marathon, right? We've been on this journey now for 2.5 years, but it works. And just take your shot and do the best you can. And
honestly, you're looking for a pattern where there may not be one.
Right. We like to find patterns.
We like to connect dots, and over the course of, would you say you're starting point's 404. So you probably need to lose a couple 100 pounds. I don't know how tall you are, but I'm just guessing. It's going to take you a year, 2 years,
But it's
3 years,
doable.
and it's doable.
Right. It's working for you.
And the
It's
biggest thing I
doable.
can tell you is, instead of worrying about what day it happens on,
Right.
take your shot, zoom out on that app. Zoom out, and the longer you're in it, and look at that downward trend, because the downward trend is what's exciting. What happened on Tuesday versus Wednesday doesn't really matter.
Well, and start looking for other things other than the number on the scale, right? Make your goals things like a water goal. I try to drink 3 of these a day, 2 to 3 of these a day, or a protein goal, or a calorie goal, or a number of steps goal, or something like that is within your control, because we can't control when our bodies decide to offload the weight, right? And we can't control if it's offloading fat or muscle or combination, or what day it's going to magically disappear from the scale. So we can't really depend on those things, but things that are in our control, we can definitely focus on. So everybody take a big drink of water.
And believe it or not, your body will react differently to this medication every week. You want it to be consistent, and it's a consistent loss over time, but each week, each day, it might be a little different. Fallon, midlife NP, who's a nurse practitioner. So I think I asked a medical question earlier. It said metabolic syndrome is a medical diagnosis, however, usually broken down to individual diagnoses such as insulin resistance, hypothyroidism, prediabetes, etc.
Thanks
That
for
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah.
And then Barb, who was a midwife, says PCOS is being renamed metabolic syndrome. Liver disease is MASLD, metabolic dysfunction associated I can't say it, Barb. Liver disease, metabolic covers many diseases. So it's kind of a umbrella. I don't know at this point that Lilly or Novo are out there doing anything for just metabolic disease. I think they're looking at the liver function, at the PCOS, so it's those narrower things, right?
Say that, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Jude, who I'm pretty sure was somehow involved in law, because she's
knows more about this than some of my attorney friends. I'm serious. He probably has studied this particular topic.
I'm not an attorney and don't know much.
No, but you know what? It's just a matter of, I mean, what's the thing that you subscribe to where you can look up the court cases and read them yourself? Like that. I mean, most people that Pacer monitor, most people that aren't attorneys don't pay for that. They don't have that, but it's important to us because we want to be able to bring you what's happening and be able to quote sources appropriately and accurately. So thank you for that, Jude. Fallon, midlife MP. That's a lot of letters together that my brain has to separate. And health at any cost. Exactly. We often list the disorders and the diagnostics so that insurance will cover it. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Lori Wise says, when can you apply for the bridge, and where does my doctor get the paperwork? So you can apply beginning on July 1st. Your doctor will have to do it. I think somebody else, and I may have passed it, asked, well, how can I reach out to Humana? You don't reach out to Humana. They're not going to answer your questions. In fact, the person who answers the consumer line probably will not know what you're talking about. This is a whole separate division for them that handles this just for the CMS. If you go to the CMS Bridge GLP-1 FAQ page and scroll down, there are links that will take you to more for the doctors to do, but it's not open yet.
It's not there yet.
It's not available, and it will not be available till July 1st.
When it happens, this man will let you know. So you can go there to the website and look every day, or you can subscribe to the Downsized and ring that notification bell. And that's
here's K Kirby.
Probably going to be your better bet.
The website is just for medical professionals. It's not a consumer facing site. How hard is it to get your doctor to apply for the bridge program? There's two questions there. Number one, the process. My understanding is the process is relatively simple if they have done the work and they have the information. So they know they're ready for a diagnosis. They're ready to write a prescription. They have your BMI. They have the stuff. Watch the video tomorrow. Watch the video last week. It gives you all that information. Now, the next question is, how hard is it to talk your doctor into doing that? Well, I hope you don't have to talk your doctor into medically helping you at all. So if you don't currently have a doctor who is supportive and helpful and you can sit down and have this conversation with, please reach out and get one. And it's hard work, and I know it, but I promise you it's worth it.
Well, if you have a diagnosis of obesity and your doctor's telling you, oh, I don't believe in GLP-1s, or, oh, no, I'm not going to, no. Well, you'll have to be on those for life. It might be time to find another doctor, because that's not the current thinking for obesity certified medicine doctors. Sandy Murphy's here. Thank you for your super chat of $9.99. Hey, you two. My greatest mistake was getting off the shot. Now it will not work for me. Precious Barb encouraged me to keep on going. Let's talk about that for a minute. So she took a break for whatever reason, stopped taking the shot. Now she's come back to it, and it will not work. Now, I think probably what's happening is it is doing things in your body. It is helping inflammation. I think it's helping a lot of things. I think now, because you were at a certain medication level and you stopped, you're going to have to build back up slowly to get to that medication level again. And that might take 3 months, 6 months. I mean, I think you just, like Barb said, keep on going, keep on doing it. I think people think, oh, it's not working. It's not doing anything. How do I know it's doing anything? My weight's not changing. What's your opinion on that? I mean, it's doing stuff.
I mean, if you watch the news this past week, we did a whole story on liver disease, and it talked all about, regardless of weight loss, how it basically cured liver disease. Like, it was just kind of working in the background and doing things. So I think metabolically, these medications are doing so much. Now, I know you were off. I don't know how long you were off. I don't know what dose you started at. I don't know. Very often when you go back, it's going to take you getting up in dose before it begins to work again. Mm-hmm. So give it time, take your shot, do the best you can, and hopefully it will at least help you maintain so you're not gaining weight.
Right. I remember Jamie Seltzer said, any week he wasn't gaining was a win. Our friend Jamie Seltzer started over 600 pounds. Yeah. I believe he's lost about 400 pounds. Just give it time. It's a marathon, right? And it really, I plan to be on these medications for life, or until a better medication comes along. Sherry Warnick says, I am currently approved for Zepbound because of sleep apnea and my BMI. I'm wondering if I need to get on the bridge program. Your ticket to ride right there is sleep apnea.
Right. So if it's being covered because of sleep apnea, I would probably hang out there and see what's going to happen. Now, if you have a high deductible, it again depends on your Medicare program. But if you have a high deductible, if that you've got to meet, it might be worth looking at it. The challenge of Bridge right now is, yes, they've extended it through the end of next year, but we don't know what happens after that. Mm. So if you can afford what you're doing and it's currently covered, I'd hang out where I am.
Ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing. Yeah.
Because you could come back and then it not get covered.
Zepbound is approved for moderate to severe sleep apnea. So, and I know I am 100% sure Christopher Durham had sleep apnea. He never got tested, but I mean, he'd stop breathing. He was snoring. He'd wake me up. He'd wake himself up. It's just terrible. So it definitely helped.
All right. There's 487 viewers and 309 likes. Hello, everybody. I'm Christopher. This is Laraine. We're the Downsized. We talk about GLP-1s. I've lost 100 pounds. She's lost 50 pounds using the magic of tirzepatide, Zepbound, Mounjaro. I've actually used all three. They work the same for me. Don't tell Eli Lilly. And we're kind of hanging out answering questions. So
put your questions in the chat. Trisha 9940 says, I took the bridge program details provided by CMS to my doc this week. We verified starting BMI info on my chart. Very good. And I showed her pre-diabetes diagnosis is now accepted. She will submit it in July. Perfect. Sounds like you are on your way. Nancy Germain, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember Jamie Seltzer saying if we wanted to write letters, make phone calls, that it was more effective to start at state level with the state insurance commissioner. I do think you're correct. I do think he did say that. Jamie lives in
North
Dakota, and he's
and
very
very active
in politics, and he knows stuff. So yeah, start at the state level with your state insurance.
Here's what I would tell you, particularly if you're on Medicaid or you have family that's on Medicaid, that if the state doesn't opt in, you're out.
You're screwed.
So, right, you're out. So definitely approach it at the state level. However, in the case of the balance program, whether it ever comes back or not is dependent on federal. So is it as effective? Probably not. But would it help for them to hear from you, from your congressman, your senator, to say this matters? Because there's also TROA sitting out there, the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act, that needs to be passed, or some version of it, so that it's actually legal for the federal government to help with weight loss obesity care. Because right now it's not.
Yeah.
It needs to be passed. And now we're going to the Obesity Action Coalition's event in
Orlando in
July. It'll be hotter than hell in Orlando.
23rd, Darian.
But they're big advocates, and they're out there actively going to Congress, meeting and lobbying on the Hill. We haven't done it yet, but I hope to, because part of the long-term solution is getting the law fixed.
Yeah.
Bridge and balance are only temporary pilots. They're only tests. They aren't going to fix it forever. So we've got to fight it on all fronts.
I know a lot of the TikTokers, like Mike on a Mission, has gone to Washington and lobbied for the TROA bill, the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act. And if you want to go to the OAC Your Weight Matters conference in Orlando in July, they have a session where they will train you in how to lobby for the TROA Act. So if that's important and you want to do that, you could definitely get involved that way.
So Bon Durant said 27 said, do the pills work as well? I think that's a doll.
I know, but the face of the doll. Do the pills work as well?
I just started 30 days ago and only lost about 3 pounds. So you're right there on the average of what you should be losing. So between 0.5 and 2 pounds per week.
Mm-hmm.
What I would tell you is when you say the pills,
right.
I would need more information. So if you're using branded
like
Wegovy, if you're using
Wegovy.
branded Wegovy and you make it all the way to their top dose, yes, those pills work as well as the injectables according to the clinical trials. Okay. If you're using Foundeo, which is orforglipron from Eli Lilly, that just started, so you have not been on it for 30 days.
It just came out in April,
just started. I think the weight loss percentages are right around 12 or 13%, which is less than Wegovy.
In the clinical trial.
But clinical trials are always
less than Zepbound.
Yeah, clinical trials are always an average. And I can tell you, if you look at the clinical trial averages for Zepbound, which is what I have used, you're looking at 16 to 18%. Well, I've lost weight loss. I've lost 38% of my weight. We've seen people lose 50% of their weight. We've seen people lose 60. Somebody that lives in my house has lost 50% of her weight. Okay. So clinical trials, there's no limitation. That's just the average across the thousands of people that were in the trials.
Stay with it. I would say stay with it. Give it 90 days. Aim for that 0.5 pound to 2 pound a week average. This is not fast weight loss. This is not the cabbage soup diet from 1986 where you lose 10 pounds in a week, right? This is a long-term medical treatment for the disease of obesity. This is going to take a long time, but it's very effective. Sandy Murphy, thank you for your super chat. Do you guys think it is because I switched from Zepbound to Compound? Christopher's gone from Mounjaro to Zepbound to compounded tirzepatide, back and forth and around again.
Month to month, week to week.
And how did that
I've used
matter?
7 different. I've never found a difference whatsoever.
Tirzepatide seems to be tirzepatide.
It's not to say that there couldn't be. It's not to say some pharmacy it doesn't suck, but assuming they're following the correct manufacturing procedures, there should be the same dose of tirzepatide in your compounded medication as there is in the branded medication.
Yeah.
There should be.
And actually, didn't somebody quote you in a lawsuit saying that?
Yeah, they do.
I think Eli Lilly quoted you saying that.
They did.
In their lawsuit. Hello, Eli Lilly. Welcome to the Downsized. Please lower your prices. Thank you very much.
Super chat. You could be a member.
David Ricks, if you're watching, leave us a super chat. No, just kidding. Anyway, yeah, I don't think so, Sandy. But that's my personal opinion. We're not doctors. We're not scientists.
Sheena sells thrifty treasure. So if I miss doses of my compounded tirzepatide, can I sue Lilly for making me fat again? Well, that's a good idea. I don't know that there's any real lawsuit there, but you could ask an attorney. You might find somebody to.
I mean, I think the cost of suing would be higher than the cost of this. Pep with Pam. You're really great, Christopher. Laraine is too. Gee, thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. I love your banter. It reminds me of my own marriage. We've been married 10 years, so we are a decade behind y'all and a bit younger. Well, you know what? Thank you. I think, did you send me an email, Pam? It seems like people, I think, can relate to us. One part of the marriage is a little peppier and more enthusiastic, and one is more maybe calm. And well, he's a Virgo and I'm a Pisces, so he's calm. Means, but okay. He's calming and orderly, and I'm kind of all over the place, and so he kind of just calms me down.
Barb POS says, I just read a KFF news article that said CMS announced yesterday that balance isn't being implemented in 2027. Instead, bridge is being extended through 2027. Have you heard this? Yes, Barb POS. That is what this entire show is about.
Welcome to the Downsized.
If you were to go back and watch from the beginning, you could see all of that. That is absolutely what's happening. I have an entire about a 25-minute video that will come out detailing all of it in the morning.
Like and subscribe.
Right at 9 o'clock, that'll give you all the details of what's going on and why it happened and how it happened, and CVS and United Health. But that is, in essence, what's going to happen as of today. Now, ask me tomorrow. Might change again tomorrow, but
we'll make another video about it.
Yes. Kavina says, can you shed some light on Lilly's lawsuit against Mochi? I also use Mochi. So Lilly has, and I won't get the number absolutely correct, but Lilly has several hundred lawsuits going on.
A lot of lawsuits
against
telehealth. A lot of telehealths
and compounders that are primarily focused on marketing claims and saying that they stole their business. And what is called in the state of California, the corporate practice of medicine are the primary. Now there's, depending on which specific lawsuit you're in, but those are basically what's happening. Because believe it or not, hey, Lilly has a patent. Lilly doesn't like it that the FDA allows
I wouldn't like it either.
Compounding pharmacies to make it. There's two different things going on here. They're suing compounding pharmacies and they're suing telehealths. What the telehealths, Mochi included, are saying is we're just an intermediary. We're basically Uber.
Yeah.
We're neither the driver or the car. We're just Uber.
We're the platform.
So we're the platform that supports all of this. It's actually the prescriber who writes the prescription, and there's nothing for us to sell if they don't write the prescription.
The compounding pharmacy.
The compounding pharmacy is saying, we're just filling orders.
We're just filling the orders.
And we trust that the prescriber is following the FDA regulations on personalized medicine. And Lilly's saying, yeah, y'all are all full of crap. We don't think so. And what Mochi had done in that case is requested a dismissal and said, yeah, we don't even think this case should move forward. Now, they did that because there was another case or an earlier version of this case several months ago where the judge, basically the Lilly lawyers came in and said, here's our stuff. We found all this stuff on Reddit, and they quoted, actually Laraine was in the case, I was in the case, they quoted Reddit, they did all this stuff. And the judge said, this is not your best work.
Really? You're quoting YouTubers' videos and Reddit.
This is not your best
official
work.
lawsuit.
You haven't proved any harm. You haven't proved they've done any of this. You haven't
Right.
proved you
Show
even
me
have
the
standing.
damages. Show me the harm.
And the judge said, it's not up to any drug company to enforce FDA regulations. It's up to the FDA to enforce FDA regulations, or
Right.
the state to enforce state laws.
Right.
But I'll give you another chance. We'll give you another swing at it.
Right.
Okay.
Eli Lilly doesn't enforce the law.
So just recently, in the last week or so, the Lilly team and the Mochi team came back to court. You may have seen our friend Sabina talked about it. Sabina actually went to court and talked about it. I wasn't there, so I can only tell you what Sabina said. But basically, this was a preliminary hearing that said that Mochi said we think it should be dismissed. Essentially, the judge said, I don't know, this kind of seems like it should move forward. And then just yesterday, the judge said it'll move forward. So now we move into the next phase of the case, and the judge ended that filing with basically discovery is now open. So now Lilly and Mochi can both do discovery. They'll find everything that's going on, and it'll move forward as a federal trial. Now, federal trials are not quick things, so nothing's going to happen very quickly. So stay tuned. We'll see as things happen. I would expect the vast majority of discovery to be considered corporate secrets, and we probably will not see the vast majority of discovery, because neither Lilly nor Mochi want you seeing their business deals
behind the curtain,
and it'll all be covered, and only the judge will see it and all of that. But stay tuned. I mean, if anything significant happens, we'll certainly talk about it. But that's just one of 100 cases out there. And Lilly and Novo are both suing everybody from little local med spas to Empower Pharmacy to Mochi. There's a whole list of people. So we'll see. Nothing's moving very quickly there. Martha says, is Mochi a 503B? So Mochi is a telehealth company, and they are not a compounding pharmacy. They use compounding pharmacies, and to my knowledge, the vast majority of theirs are 503As.
Mochi is just a telehealth platform. They don't manufacture any medications.
Let's see here.
It's Darium. Hey there, Martha. Thanks, Darium. Yeah. So I use Mochi Health. I've gotten medications from Medicare Pharmacy, from Empower Pharmacy, from Red Rock Pharmacy, from back at the beginning, Hallandale Pharmacy, from one in Tennessee. Like they have a list of they have a list of compounding pharmacies that their doctors can send prescriptions to. Pep with Pam. FDA needs to mandate health insurance coverage for the disease of obesity.
I don't know that they can mandate any coverage, honestly. I might be wrong, but I don't know that they can do that.
Love for them to. I don't think they.
Barb says, no. You apply for Medicare 3 months before you're at 65. So as soon as you are eligible, apply. I don't know what the actual rule. We haven't done that. So
I just looked at it yesterday, but definitely, if you're getting close to that age, please go online, and it's easy enough to pull up. Carla Hammonds 7127. Hello, beautiful people. I'm 146 pounds down from 190 pounds. Started on 8/12/25. I don't think I've ever been 140 anything since childhood. Me too, girl. I purchased 6 months today. BPI's bud dates are 12 months away. Okay, keep that in the refrigerator and make sure you use them up by the bud date. You should be fine. But do keep your eye on it, right? Just Jude says on the CMS website under the FAQ, they do have a code for doctors to use when the bridge starts. I have read it. I have it written down somewhere. Maybe it said within 3 months of your birthday. I took that to mean after your birthday, but maybe it could be before. Yeah. Terry Schwartz, 1209. With Mochi, currently all my bud dates are 30 days. So if I order earlier, like after the first or second shot, I would be passed by like a week or two. Any suggestions? Hope they change to longer bud. Yeah, some of those pharmacies have been right at 30 days out. Sometimes I get them and they're 3 months out. Sometimes I get them and they're 6 months out. So if they're, definitely use the ones that are going to expire first. Put that to the front of your supply, right? So have I taken shots from a vial past the bud date? It happens, right? It just, if you're it's from what we understand from our friend Connie Comrack, who's a molecular biologist, it just loses efficacy over time. So it's not like it magically goes bad on the bud date, right? It just may not be as potent if you're a year past the bud date. So best practice is to use it by the bud date. Have I gone beyond that? Yes, I have. That's not a best practice. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Vicki Dombrowski says we need to inundate Dr. Oz with emails. All right. He is in charge of Medicare, Medicaid. Is he?
Yeah, and he's in charge of CMS.
Is he? Okay. And being a cardiologist, I used to watch the show all the time. He should definitely understand the need for these medications to be covered.
So, Vicki, it wouldn't hurt, but I think just to level set, that's basically an administrative position. So although he can set some policy, he can't make the insurance companies, he can't make Aetna do it. He doesn't have it. And he can't change the federal law. And just like RFK Jr. can't change federal law. They're not lawmakers. Right. They're appointees. And that's just, and what's going to happen is, sooner or later, the presidential election happens, the administration changes, there's a whole new set of people, whoever that different set of people is, I don't know, but those different set of people will have different priorities. And really, long term, we need the laws to change to cover this.
Right. I guess that starts with your congressman, your state house people, your, like Jamie Seltzer says, your state insurance, what is it, board? Yeah. And what was it? Somebody told me that, well, emails are good, phone calls are better.
Well, I think what happens is now phone calls are disruptive. Emails can just go into the thousands of things, right. But phone calls, you don't get a phone call every day anymore.
They pay a little bit more attention to. Sheena's Sales Thrifty Treasures. I'm watching in bed. Have to be up at 2:30 a.m. for work. Just wanted to show my appreciation for your channel. Well, thank you, Sheena. We appreciate you watching.
I told you Jude was some kind of a
Jude, I'm retired,
legal
but
professional.
Practice federal court litigation. Oh, cool. I enjoy Christopher's new videos. They put my dogs to sleep. What is that? Somebody said that your voice calms their baby or their dog or something. Well, Jude, you should come on and do an interview with us and tell us about your GLP-1 and legal background. Hey, Jude. I'm sure he's never heard that before. Hello.
Yes, I know.
Hello. Like and subscribe to the Downsized. I got nothing here, Christopher. Sandy Murphy says yes, and have a friend that had fatty liver disease, and the shots cured him. That's what the reports have said, right? That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's being run through clinical trials right now. I feel certain that'll eventually get covered by insurances. I mean, it's just the numbers on that are startling about how well it works.
Oh, here's Darren with Jamie's stats. Jamie Seltzler started at 652 and is currently down over 370 pounds. He said it took over 3 months before he saw any weight loss. That's a great point. He thought it was doing nothing for 3 months, but he kept going. And he's currently down over 300. He's lost 370 pounds. I mean, he's so inspirational. You can find him on TikTok, on Instagram. I think he's also now on YouTube, and you can just Google his name and he should come up. He's been on our show. We've interviewed him.
Hubley 53. I don't think I've seen this question before. With compounded tirzepatide, why do I get gas, not sulfur burps? It's your body. Honestly, what we have to remember is our entire digestive connection system is connected, right? It's one basically long tube with some valves and squishy things in between, kind of going ching, 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 and bile and all kinds of stuff.
Such a scientific.
It's very scientific. I actually a lot, constipation is the constant conversation and sulfur burps on every Facebook and Reddit board, but I don't get
I never
constipation.
had the sulfur.
I don't get
burps. Maybe once
constipation.
or
I
twice.
get diarrhea. So it's coming out the other end for me. And gas is part of that as well. It's just kind of
it slows everything down.
It probably means it's kind of stewing lower in your digestive system. It's like getting past, but it shouldn't really have anything to do with whether it's compounded or branded. It's just your body is reacting that way that week.
Well, if it's compounded with something that your body is reacting to, so if the B12 or the glycine or something, that piece, that's something to ask your prescriber about. Laura, RP4WL, I went to new nurse practitioner, and she told me since I had been on GLP-1 for a year, she would not continue to prescribe me the medication and that I needed to join a weight management program. Time to find a new healthcare provider. That makes no sense. She just doesn't, maybe she doesn't have time. She doesn't want to deal with it. She doesn't know about it. She doesn't want to know about it. That doesn't sound like a place I would want to go for my healthcare personally.
Annie Simonetti question: have Medicare Aetna covered for Mounjaro? Should I switch to Part D in 2027? Well, Annie, we don't know enough about you to have any clue, and I'm not really a Medicare advisor. What I can tell you is Mounjaro is typically covered for type 2 diabetes. So if you're currently covered for type 2 diabetes by Aetna, and it's something you can afford, stay where you are. The bridge program is a whole separate thing for obesity, and you'd have to be cleared a different way. But if you have a Medicare, and there are whole advisor teams out there, talk to somebody and look at your specific insurance plans and your specific needs, because it's going to be different for everybody.
But thanks for your question.
You bet.
You bet. Evelyn Bose, 2223. I made an appointment with my doctor just to discuss the coverage of Bridge and Balance. She discussed it with her drug reps. They are providing her with the latest updates. All right. Drug reps can advise on these, I guess, again. It's Darium says, Pharma is in the bushes. CD is sharing his experiences on these medications. If you're going to quote, please use context. Super chats are strongly encouraged.
You got to quote. Give us a cut of the profit, man.
If you're going to quote me in your lawsuit, you could at least send me a super chat. That would be nice. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's always funny when what was it? I saw a piece of one of our videos on a news program out of Washington State or something. All right. Cat tips. If I leave Lilly Direct because I can bridge for 18 months on Medicare and then Medicare stops the program, do you think I can get back to Lilly Direct prices, or have I lost that option? Lilly Direct prices are cash pay. They don't go through insurance.
It would be fine because you're still buying their product. You're still getting Lilly. All they want to do is make sure you're buying their stuff. So I don't think you're going to have any problem. And what happens with, even if you left Lilly Direct for a month or two or whatever, and you came back, and they would just charge a higher price for the first month. But yeah, you'll be able to come back. I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, honestly, in 18 months, who knows what the price or what the rules will be. I mean, it'll look completely different.
Mm-hmm. RE Houston, Texas. Lilly doesn't enforce the law. However, they sure as heck influence the law to their benefit. Yeah, they're based in Indiana, right? And some legislation for a while was coming out of Indiana, and we're like, oh, they're right there.
Oh, yeah, the two Indiana congressmen submitted it.
Yeah, it's like, huh. Yeah, no, they sure as heck influence a lot of their. You better believe. Well, they're making $5 billion per quarter in profit off of these medications. Fire and Iron says the Downsized has quickly become my favorite YouTube channel. Well, thank you, Fire and Iron. That's hard to say, especially when you have a Southern accent like me. We appreciate that.
Fire and Iron also says, which shot cured the fatty liver disease? You're looking at tirzepatide, Zepbound, but let me clarify. All of these metabolic problems are being put into remission. I don't know that it's actually curing fatty liver disease. Now, I know they have seen in some of the trials, some of the scarring that happens is healing itself. But my understanding for both fatty liver and for the cardiac and for most of the metabolic things is once you stop taking the medications, you lose the benefits, and you will whatever disease you have will recur.
Right.
No. Yeah. There's medical professionals out there.
Yeah,
so
these
correct me if I'm
medications
saying
are
that
treatments.
wrong. Not a doctor.
Not necessarily cures. Richie C59, thank you for your super chat of $19.99. I had a stroke at 49 and now 54, pre-diabetic, A1C 6.2, BMI 35, and my city of New York benefits denied me for GLPs. My doctor, an endocrinologist, said it was a disgrace. He gave me my 2 milligram sample Ozempic pens to start me off the first few months. Well, that was nice. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think Mike on a Mission has talked about this, because if you have a type 2 diagnosis, then maybe your insurance covers it. But once you have a type 2 diagnosis, you don't have that yet. You're pre-diabetic. Once you have that type 2 diagnosis, you always have it. Like so you don't want to get to that point. Unfortunately, but you know what I mean? Like, it's so wacky how the system works.
It's a shame because we've had people say it would literally be better for me financially if I went out and gained weight and got diabetes. Right. And we're not saying please do not do that.
Don't do that, because then you have it forever, right? So you really need to get that A1C under control. Yeah.
But the city of New York those benefits should be helping you out for sure. That sucks big.
Sorry, Richie.
Mark Beckett's asking, lots of stuff going on. There's a video coming out, Mark, tomorrow at 9:00 that'll give you more on this, as well as one from last week. I'll make sure they have it in there.
Darium, it's Darium. Did you know there is still time to sign up for the Downsized cruise? Thanks, Darren. Please sign up at the downsized.org/downsized at C2026, or just go to the downsized.org and click the cruise tab. And so we're going on a cruise with right now 77 of our GLP-1 viewers, watchers, friends. And it's going to be on Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas, June 4th through 8th this year, 2026. There's still cabins available. So check that out if you're interested. What else? It goes to Nassau, Bahamas, private island of Coco Cay. Is that it? I've said it literally 1,000 times. We're going to have tons of fun. We're going to have some programming. We're going to have some activities. We're going to eat dinner together. If you want to go snorkeling with us, we've planned a snorkeling excursion. Lots of fun stuff. We did this last year. We had about 50 people. We had a great time. We said, let's do it again. Right now we're sneaking up on 80 people. So it was really a great time to be able to sit and talk with people about this journey, right? Because a lot of times you're by yourself. Maybe you're the only one in your family going through this, or maybe you don't have any friends or anybody you can talk to about it. Well, now you're going to have the automatic group of 77 people that are all literally on the same boat, in the same boat. And that was really helpful, really community building. We really enjoyed it. So join us, won't you?
Pam K 1589 says, in reading info on Bridge program, my understanding is you have to meet specific guidelines to qualify for the program. That's correct. Sleep apnea is not listed, probably because there's a covered Medicare diagnosis. That's correct. So the Bridge program is only about weight loss and obesity. If you have sleep apnea or cardiac or something else, there are other things, and this program would not apply to you specifically. This is not for that. Now, many people have both diagnoses, so you could try and see which one works best for you. But no, the bridge program is not about that.
Kimberly Summer 5043. On your Amazon page, I'm thinking of trying Mago 7. I love Mago 7 for constipation on compounded tirzepatide. Laraine, do you take daily or only once in a while for constipation? I do not take it daily. Lately, I've been taking it about once a week. With travel, my system kind of got a little dysregulated. But when I have it pooped, I'll just say it, in 3 days, at night on an empty stomach, I follow the directions. I take 3 Mago 7 with a full glass of water, and usually I have some relief by the next day. It's very it's magnesium. So you can get this at Amazon. I think it's now available at Target. And I found out about it when we first started this journey from another place on these GLP-1 streets. So I've used it. It's very effective. And I'm not a doctor, but that's what I use. I've had constipation. I figured out pretty much throughout my life. I have a very redundant colon, I've been told, through my 3 colonoscopies I've had in the past.
Yours has a weird
5
turn.
years. Has a weird, and I feel it.
The doctor drew it for me, and he was like, "The turn's supposed to be like that." I don't remember.
I was a little out of it when this was happening, but I can feel it. Like sometimes it doesn't quite make the turn. You know what I mean? And it kind of like things get kind of hung up. And I'm drinking the water. I'm doing the cardio. It just needs a little help to. Fiber is very important. You should aim. Should have a fiber goal that you're working towards. All that helps.
Vera, thanks for being a member. Vera says, I'm confused. The Zepbound Quick Pen states that after the first dose, the pen does not need to be refrigerated. I see it. If it's okay if I continue to store it in the fridge. Yeah, you can keep it in the fridge. It's not going to hurt it. Those pens are just manufactured a slightly different way, so they stay incredibly sterile and safe for the whole length of time.
Yep. Follow your directions. If it's been out of the refrigerator and it comes to room temperature, you don't really need to put it back in because it's kind of cat's out of the bag kind of thing. But if you keep it constantly refrigerated, you can do that. Or as the directions say, you can leave it at room temperature. Cynthia Mons 5339. How much mochi I would have to use their doctors? I use Lilly Direct and $4.59 a month. Most all place I have tried to join is just high of cost and just as high if you join their membership. Mochi charges a $79 a month membership fee. And then their compounded tirzepatide is $199 a month. Their compounded semaglutide is $99 a month. So that's lower than your $4.59 a month. I don't know what you pay your doctor when you go to get your prescription or go for your checkup. But I see a Mochi doctor through their telehealth platform. I can message him with questions. He usually responds within 24 or 48 hours. I've used them for 2 years. That's all the info. You can use my link and save $40.
So
it's pinned in the chat.
Tirzepatide is $79 a month plus
$199.
$199.
$278
a month for all doses. So even at the
all
highest
doses,
dose.
all the doses are the same price at Mochi. A lot of the telehealth places aren't like that, but they do charge a membership fee. It covers your doctor's fee, and if you want to see their online nutritionist. So occasionally I meet with the nutritionist. It's covered, and it's kind of like a personal coaching session. It's very helpful. Valerie Scruggs gifted 10 Downsized memberships. Thank you, Valerie. We met Valerie in Atlanta when we went to Obesity Week conference. Yeah. I think she's coming on the cruise too. Thank you, Valerie. So you may have just automatically received a Downsized membership. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means we have a special members only live that we do most Tuesday nights. That was last night. There is a special members only Facebook page. You cannot get into it unless you are a member. You get some special emojis and some other things. So you can click that join button below, and it'll take you to another video where we tell you all about that.
Donna Johnson, Donna from Omaha says,
Donna.
I'll be on the cruise and happy to answer anyone's Medicare and Social Security questions.
Awesome.
I'm a retired consultant, broker in health insurance industry.
Thanks, Donna.
And Donna says, I think down here, it's my volunteer work. I'm not selling anything except Donna's advice. Yeah, Donna did this for a long time. So,
yep, Donna was on the cruise last year. She had so much fun. She's coming back for year 2. So we look forward to seeing you again, Donna. And we lived in Omaha for a while. We lived in Omaha for 2 years, like 12 years ago, a long time, 14 years ago. It's been a long time. We did not like the cold. We had to come back south. I was not prepared for all that snow.
Kimberly Horton 762 says, question, I just started Zepbound Monday night. Congratulations. I've always taken a handful of supplemental vitamins every AM and PM.
All right.
Wow, is this why I have big time burps today? I didn't have this yesterday.
Maybe.
So the medications are known for causing what are called sulfur burps, if it tastes a little like rotten eggy kind of thing. Because of slow digestion. What I would tell you is it's probably worth talking to your doctor about those supplemental vitamins and doing some blood work. You may or may not, I'm not saying you do or don't need them, but I would have a conversation with your doctor about it, particularly as the medication kicks in and you eat less. You're going to want to make sure you get all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients and things to keep you going and keep your body healthy and all that. But talk to your doctor about that.
It's probably, that's probably why you're having the big time burps. It doesn't go on forever, hopefully.
Doesn't. Vicky Andrews says, I'll have to check it out.
All right, cool. Yep, you can go check it out at thedownsized.org.
All right, so it's now been 2 hours, and I'm looking at it 1 minute and 40 seconds. There are 418 of you out there and 372 likes.
Do we have any non-Medicare questions?
Laraine hates Medicare questions.
I mean, I don't hate them. It's important, right? But it's we've talked a lot about it. I was wondering if we had some other questions out there tonight. Put them in the chat. Start with a QQQ. We will probably wrap it up here shortly, but I want to make sure we get to everyone who has a question.
All right.
No one else has a question? We're done? Okay.
Not new ones unless I scroll. I mean, I tried to hit as many as I could. Here we go. Here's one for you.
All right.
Two Dog Night.
Who's
a member?
Thanks for being a member. I'm moving up to 15 milligrams Zepbound on Friday. I have 2 7.5 single dose pens in my stockpile. Guess what? 7.7 and 7.7 makes 15. So yeah, you can use 2 of them in lieu of your 1 single.
Use it.
I don't know if you want to do that. And it's perfectly fine to do that. You can do that. Yes, you can.
Consider it 2 different shots and do it in 2 different places.
Yeah.
Don't do one right on top of each other. So
yeah,
like if you do it on your stomach, do one on each side of the belly button. If you do it on the arm, do one on each arm. Don't do them right next to each other.
Yeah. The only reason I was kind of like hesitating and saying maybe not was when I hit my goal weight, I dropped down in dose. And if you ever drop down in dose and you want the 7.5 for maybe the way down, but maybe you don't drop down in dose. Maybe you hit your goal weight on 15 like Christopher and you stay on 15 and you don't drop down in dose. So yeah, when you see the best use by dates on these pens coming up, you could put 2 together and definitely use them. These bud dates on these pens are usually at least a year out, so you have some time for that. Laura says, has anyone experienced the aluminum seal detaching from vial when removing the plastic cap? The aluminum seal. Oh, the whole thing came off? The whole thing? This whole thing? No, because usually it has to be pried off with like a special tool. Have you heard that?
I have occasionally heard it. I mean, it shouldn't come off, and if
shouldn't.
it did, I would definitely reach out to your compounding
To the
pharmacy and your
compounding
telehealth
pharmacy.
company and say, "Hey, what's up?" Because they should replace it.
Yeah.
You may. I don't know which kind you. There's a lot of different variations of vials, so it would be hard to give. I mean, I typically will actually hold the vial like so, but I don't know which one you have. And
the little top part
peel the
just
top
pops
off. Like I said, we've probably had, I think we've had it from 7 different pharmacies and had 7 different kinds of seals on it. But if it came off, contact the pharmacy and they should replace it.
I would directly contact the compounding pharmacy. Is that a cat screaming?
I didn't hear it. I don't know. You can go.
That.
No, that's like some kind of bird or something. But go check on JoJo. All right, Fire and Iron, I just want to thank you both for your hard work and dedication. She thinks she might hear a JoJo kitty. Hold on, let us check on JoJo. Sorry, JoJo's okay. So something weird going on outside. Sometimes you hear weird animals, and she was freaking out. Let's go to Elaine Edwards, who says, question, words of encouragement, please, as I'm at 46 pounds down in 6 months, but suddenly spinning my wheels for weekly weight loss. Well, let's start with this and say congratulations on being 46 pounds down in 6 months. That is fabulous. Sometimes you hit a stall. I mean, what I would say is go back and do all your basic things, right? Make sure you're hitting your calorie deficit. Make sure you're drinking your water. Make sure you're doing all the things. Make sure you're taking your shot when you're supposed to be. Talk to your doctor about your titration. I don't know where you are in your titration. Oh, let me go again. What? Well, isn't that exciting? Is anybody still there? So sorry. There was some sort of animal outside yelling and screaming, but JoJo's just fine. So let's talk to Elaine again. Elaine, you're doing fabulous. So talk to your doctor, make sure you're okay, but you'll get it. Let's see here. Yes, JoJo is okay. Laura Seifert says, I started Zepbound 2.5 2.5 weeks ago, I wanted to increase dose because I'm feeling hungry again. Is that okay? I get confusing messages about increasing. Well, so the best way to know to increase your dose is to talk to your doctor, but there are generally a couple of different strategies. Sorry, I'm out of breath from running down the steps and out to make sure JoJo was okay. But the clinical trials and the strategy they followed was to move up every 4 weeks in dose. Most people don't do that anymore. Most people say, hey, I'm going to stay on this dose as long as it's working for me, as long as the weight loss is continuing, as long as the food noise is going away. So you just kind of have to play it out and see how it works for you. It's certainly okay if you feel like it's not working for you to move up in dose. You generally want to stay on a dose at least 4 weeks, though. So yes, Anthony, JoJo is okay. Thank goodness. That would be terrible. Vicky Dombrowski, have you heard that the multi-use vial should not be stored in the same refrigerator as your food due to possible contamination of the vial? Someone asked me this yesterday. I've never seen any research that says that. I generally believe I cook, right? So I'm the one who does all of this. I believe our refrigerators have a tendency to be kind of gross. So we actually have a Rubbermaid sealed container that we keep ours in, or actually in the vial case, we'll keep ours in the Ziploc bags they come in, and then in the box they come in. So you want to keep it away from nastiness and grossness. But yeah, I would do the best you can there. Yeah, JoJo is in.
JoJo's inside.
Yay!
It's having a kitty emergency. Okay, I had to coax her in with fancy feast and treats.
She wasn't fighting or anything, was she?
So we have a fenced-in backyard, and it backs up to some trees, and then there's a pond beyond the trees. So I can see JoJo. I could see her at our fence. Well, actually, I can only see eyes shining back at me. So I assumed it was JoJo. So I'm calling JoJo, and these eyes are just looking. I just see the eyes shining. I'm like, JoJo. It
was some other creature.
I don't think that was JoJo. And then I heard this. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
I don't know. What was it?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
And then that's when I screamed and shut the door because I'm like, JoJo doesn't make that sound. I don't know if it was like a possum or I've seen foxes back there. So I screamed, slammed the door. Christopher came in, and then he went out into the yard, and then we could physically see that was our cat now in the middle of the yard coming towards us. So then she came up on the deck and went under the patio chair, and she wouldn't come in the door. So I had to get the fancy feast and show it to her with the plate. And she goes, "Oh, I think I will have some of that." So now she's downstairs.
So she's safe and she's inside. Gemma says she is wondering if my doctor through Kaiser in Southern California will be aware of this bridge program enough to get me enrolled. I would assume right now that the vast majority of doctors don't know anything about it.
Because it really hasn't.
Because it hasn't rolled out. They haven't rolled out training. There's not much on it. If you want to, you can send your doctor a link to the last video we did and the video that will come out tomorrow, and you can send them in the description of the link, or you can search for it. There will be a link to the CMS Bridge FAQs, which will give your doctor everything they need to do. Now, there's nothing they can really do until July 1st, but it'll give it everything they need to do. But assume they don't know yet. Just assume. Don't be startled. I mean, I've had people calling Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, and the people who answer the phone don't know anything. The people at CVS, they don't know anything. So it's the CMS FAQ. Let's see. She explained all the kitty questions.
Sorry.
Precious JoJo.
I'm sorry. When I heard that sound, I was like, that is not the sound my cat makes. And we don't usually let her stay out in the night, but sometimes she's just out all day and won't come in. All right, sorry. Wendy Brown says, non-scale victory. My daughter expressed interest in GLP last night for the first time. I was so happy. I've been on Zepbound and recently on compounded tirzepatide since 325, and I'm down 75 pounds. That's fantastic. You know, children, right? So we have the disease of obesity in our family on both sides. So children have to be ready for it, right? You can't force it on them. You can't sneak it on them. You can't coerce them into it. They're either ready to do it and ready to, put forth the effort, or they're just not. So I'm glad she expressed some interest. I mean, obviously you think that, it might be right for her. It's really hard. It's really hard to talk to your kids about it, but once they're open to it, it could change their life, right? So I'm just glad that these treatments are available now, because they weren't around when we were growing up, so that it gives them a whole new lease on life, really.
All right. So it's now been 2 hours, 15 minutes and 16 seconds, and there's 407 of you out there. Apparently about 70 of you said, I don't care about the cat drama, and left. There's 392 likes. It seems like we could get to 400.
I left as well.
Seems like we could get to 400 likes.
I'm like, live. We've been live for 2 hours. So I got to go get my cat. Sorry. Sorry. That's just how we roll here. I'm glad the JoJo lovers out there. How did that sound go? It was like, it was like, it kind of was like a screeching possum.
Might have been.
It might have been. And the size of the creature, like JoJo's about the size of a possum, so it could have been that, but I don't really.
There's 404 likes now. Thank you.
And because I heard it. That's when I was like, did you hear that sound?
I did.
All right, they needed to say for this suspense, or they just left because cats. So that's our cat JoJo. That's our JoJo. JoJo pin. Maybe I should go get the actual JoJo so people can. Maybe I just need to hold her for a moment.
You can go get her if you want.
She's probably done with her your cat's more important. Let me go. JoJo, you want to come say hi to the people?
She's gonna see if she can get JoJo. Hold on. Lady Longarm says, wondering, is anyone experiencing headaches? Hubby is on Trulicity. Be careful on that. It does happen, absolutely. And very often people will not drink enough water, and that's often dehydration. Here comes JoJo.
Now, she doesn't really like to be held, so you can. Okay. Headaches. Hubby is on Trulicity. Yeah, you probably need to drink more water.
That's what I said.
Yeah. That's JoJo. That's our cat. All right. Thank you for hanging with us through our JoJo crisis. But JoJo is fine. I don't know. She doesn't look like she was
in a battle or anything.
No, it might have been her making that sound, but I've never heard her make that sound. So, or it might have been something. Anyway, JoJo, the CEO, safe and sound. Yes. JoJo is our CEO. Thanks, Anthony. Ma'am, this is Wendy's. Now we can all sleep soundly. Thanks, Barb. Yep.
All right.
For sure. All right. Well, thanks you guys for watching today. I guess
so 9 o'clock tomorrow, there will be a video with all the details, even all the background on CVS and United Health, because they're all kinds of craziness too. So you'll get all kinds of fun stuff in the morning. So check it out. Let us know what you think about it. And as always, we're going to publish a video every day. So this is, JoJo says, Pep with Pam says, JoJo got Chelsea some cardio. LOL.
Yeah, I didn't go to the gym today, so that definitely got my heart going. Above all is love one. Yes. Most entertaining part of the show.
You know,
JoJo.
people laugh and they're like, "Oh, you're just real people." I'm like, "No, this is our house. This is our bonus room. This is where we live. We're just real people."
And right now, it's just us and JoJo here. So, we gotta look out for each other. Right, JoJo? Now she's just sitting on the floor. JoJo, why were you out so late? I don't like you to do that. I talked to her. She does understand some things. Not a lot, but some.
Well, very good. Well, thank you all for being a part of the last 2 hours.
Thanks.
Make sure to watch the video tomorrow. And let's see, we've got a good interview coming up with an executive from Kylera Therapeutics, the company that went public last week and has Rebupatide, a Lilly competitor. Super exciting. You won't want to miss that. And of course, there'll be another recipe because you guys love that.
What are we making next?
I don't know. I'm going to have to go to the store tomorrow.
We've been cooking through a cookbook called GLP-1 Recipes for High Protein Diets or something like that. It's by our friend Summer the dietitian, Summer Castle. So if you want to know how to make some really simple but GLP-1 friendly recipes, we've got a few online you can go watch, and then we'll have more come.
There's like 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. Let me close with one of these because I love these. They're my favorite.
Gail ESCH. Watching live for the first time in forever. I'm down 102 pounds in a year, still on 15 milligrams 4th month, 2 pounds below goal, bound self-pay for a year this month. Well, that's a lot. That's a whole lot of things going on right there. I'm glad you're on our live. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on your weight loss. 102 pounds in a year is fantastic. Did you ever think you'd be down 102 pounds? That's amazing. And you're on 15, 4th month, 2 pounds. It's all good, except that self-pay thing. So, you know what? We just got to keep hammering away at these big pharma to bring down their prices. And hopefully as more drugs get approved by the FDA and enter the market, more competition, more supply, hopefully will drive down the prices. And prices have come down in the past year, so we hope that they continue to come down.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we are the Downsized.
Good night.